welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time, you're welcome here, and if you're a returning subscriber, God bless you so much and I love you. So on today's tutorials, we are going to be drafting and stitching a short knicker. So if this is what you're interested in learning today, just keep on watching and don't forget to subscribe and turn on your notification bell to get notified whenever we upload a new video. So let's get right in. So I went ahead to fold my fabric into two this way and then mark out where we'll be starting our measurement from as the waistline. Alright, so I just mark out 18. So I went ahead to connect the lines together and then measure the full length of the knicker by taking 1.5 inches away for the band. So I marked 8 inches for my hip line, okay, and then for my crotch line I marked 11 because 11 is my crotch line, okay. So I went ahead to mark out the full length and also the hemi part. You will notice that I still have that 1.5 inch away from the waist, okay. So I just went ahead now and connect all the lines together. So the next thing I'm going to do now is just to give these lines a label. We have the waistline, then we have the hip line, and here we have the crotch line, and here we have the full length, and here we have the hemline. I hope you understand all these lines now, okay. So the next thing I did was to divide my hip by 4, divided my hip into 4, okay. So it gave me 9.5. So whatever I have at my hip, I mark out for the waistline as well, and then I went ahead to connect the line from the waist to the hip line. And then for the crotch line, I went ahead to divide my lap measurement by 2, okay. Divided it by 2, it gave me 11.5. so I just went ahead and mark it out. And then what I did was I connected that line down to the crotch line, okay. So from the crotch line here, you go up by 1 inch, okay, to get the curve that we want, okay. You give it a curve like this. I went ahead to measure the waist, divided the waist measurement by 4, and I added 1 inch allowance to it for that, okay. Then I marked it out, then I traced it to the hip line, connected it to the hip line this way, okay. So after that, before cutting the full length, so this part that we are folding, okay, is the hem line, as I marked earlier, the hem line. So in order not to be short when we are cutting, I just folded it this way and then pin down, so that when we are cutting we will not have difficulty cutting, Okay, so I went ahead now to measure the crotch line. Whatever we have at the crotch line is also what we have at the full length. Okay, so I don't want it to be too tight, I just want it to be free. All right, I just connected everything together and then I went ahead to cut out. So the next thing I'm going to do now is for us to cut the back. Okay, so I brought in my front part. Okay, so I placed it on a fresh fabric. As you can see, there is a space at the crotch side. Okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to add 2 inches for the crotch at the back. Okay, 2 inches here, and then we also went ahead to give it 1.5 inch at the top. Okay, so I also went ahead from the crotch. I just mark out 2 inches off because at the back we are going to be having elastic, not a band. We're just going to be having elastic, so we need extra space. There is no zip. Okay, so I went ahead to mark 2 and then connected a 1.5 at the top to the waistline. So I just connected all the lines together. Okay, all the lines that we have, I just connected everything together this way. Okay, and then I went ahead to also connect this part. Everything we have here is just 2 inches. There is no allowance at the other side. Okay, so I just went ahead now to cut out. So after cutting, I went ahead now. The next thing we are going to do now is to divide our waist by 2. Okay, so whatever we have here, we are going to mark it out. That will serve as the dart. We just mark it out this way. Okay, and then the length of the dart is 4. Yes, where our dart will get to is by 4. So I just connected the lines together so we'll know where our dart will get to. Okay, I still went ahead to notch the part in case I'm sewing. We only have that at the front, there is no dart at the back, so I just went ahead to the sewing machine now and just sew the crotch parts. So this is what we have after we have sew our dart and also sewing the crotch parts, both the back and the front. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do now is to cut our band out for the front. All right, so we'll go ahead and measure 1.5 inch that we left out, and as well add 1/2 inch for the sewing allowance, so making it 2 for the band. All right, so we brought our front part now and measure whatever we have. That is the exact band we'll be cutting out of this fabric. So we have 16 here, so I went ahead to cut 16. All right, I marked out 16 and then I went ahead to add 1/2 inch to it for safety purpose. This one is optional. Okay, so I just cut them out like this. and then went ahead to iron a stay on it this way. So this is what we have after ironing. This is how it looked like. I went ahead to fold one side of the band. Okay, so we're going to go to our sewing machine now and sew this way. We just sew around. After sewing, we can trim out the excess. All right, so this is what we have after sewing. Okay, so for the back, so we'll go ahead and measure whatever we have at the back and then cut out the band as well, and then the elastic. Okay, so I went ahead to stitch the front part of this knicker and the back part alongside with the band as well. So this is what we have after stitching both back and the front together alongside with the back band. Okay, so without adding the elastic yet. So the reason I'm doing this is because I wouldn't want any inconvenience at the side whenever we are wearing it. Okay, so now it's time to add our elastic. So we are adding our elastic like this. Okay, stitch for this side and do same for the other side, just the way I'm doing it now. So you go ahead now to your sewing machine and just stitch the both side. So this is what we have after stitching the band, the elastic band to it. This is how we are going to turn in our back band. Okay, like this. You push the front in like this and then bring the back band and fold this way. I hope you understand. So let me do it again so you understand. Okay, now you push the front part in like this, then bring the back band and then fold. All right, so you go to your sewing machine now and sew down to the other side, right? Down to the other side. So this is what we have after sewing. So this is what I'm talking about. There will be no inconvenience whenever you are wearing it, right? Okay, the next thing we're going to do here now is to close up. So you go ahead to your sewing machine and just close up like this. All right, so this is what we have after closing that part, right? So the last thing we are going to do here now is to fold in our hemline. So I went ahead to just run one top stitch to the band to make it look beautiful, as you saw just now. So just went in like this with the allowance we left, and then you go ahead to your sewing machine and just sew. So this is what we have after sewing. So that is all for this particular knicker. It's very easy to sew and it's very comfortable when you are wearing it. Okay, so if you find this video useful, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and also turn on your notification bell to get notified whenever we upload a new video. So if you haven't yet subscribed, please do so. All right, so that is all for this sewing tutorial. If you have any question, you can drop it down below. So see you in my next video. Bye.